We tend to believe that the ultimate goal of our lives is happiness. After all, it's often presented as the pinnacle of human achievement, the ultimate destination we're all striving for. And when we measure ourselves against this ideal, many of us may feel that we are falling short. Deep down, in the quiet moments of reflection, we sense that our pursuit of happiness isn't going as planned. We face challenges and struggles every day that seem to sabotage our ambitions. The power struggles at work, the tension within our families, the feeling that our friends are distant or superficial, the constant anxiety that never fully dissipates, and the relationship issues that are always simmering just beneath the surface. All of these things create a layer of discontent, a constant undercurrent of dissatisfaction. But what makes it even more difficult is the secondary layer of unhappiness we add on top of this. It's not just that we're unhappy, it's that we feel ashamed or guilty for being unhappy. We have an underlying belief that we should be happy, and when we aren't, it feels like we've failed at life's most fundamental purpose. We judge ourselves for not measuring up to this ideal, and in doing so, we intensify our unhappiness. Instead of simply acknowledging our struggles, we add the weight of self-blame, creating a vicious cycle where we are both sad and self-critical. These feelings often result in a deep sense of failure. The core belief that life should be about lasting happiness can be a double-edged sword. We want to feel fulfilled, content, and peaceful. Yet the reality of life doesn't always reflect that vision. Instead of embracing the inevitable discomfort that comes with being human, we see it as a violation of the very essence of what life should be. We are left feeling crushed, not only by our unhappiness, but also by the fact that we're disappointed in ourselves for failing to live up to an unattainable standard. The pressure to always be happy can be overwhelming, and it leads many of us down a dangerous path of denial. We are constantly told that happiness is within our grasp, that with the right mindset, the right job, the perfect relationship, and the perfect body, we will unlock the joy we've been searching for. However, this dream of constant happiness, which is so deeply ingrained in modern culture, is an illusion. The truth is that life is a constant balance of highs and lows, joy and sorrow, success and failure. And it is in this delicate balance that we find the true richness of life. Yet, despite this truth, we continue to pursue a flawless, never-ending state of happiness. We look at others and feel envy when we see them smiling, laughing, and seemingly carefree. But we don't see the hidden struggles they face, the battles they fight in private. Everyone has their own version of pain, their own story of heartache, and their own challenges. The constant pursuit of happiness creates a culture of comparison, where we measure our lives against others' curated, idealized versions. We begin to believe that happiness is something to be earned, something that only comes to those who work hard enough, or who possess the right qualities. And in doing so, we miss the point of life entirely. What we fail to realize is that life's true richness isn't found in constant happiness, but in the full range of human emotions and experiences. Every emotion, whether positive or negative, carries valuable lessons and experiences. It's not just the moments of laughter or joy that shape us, but also the times of pain, doubt, and struggle. These are the moments when we learn the most about ourselves, our strengths, our resilience, and our capacity for growth. They are the moments that define our character and give us the wisdom to navigate the world. We often hear the expression, happiness is a choice. While this idea may seem empowering at first, it can also place undue pressure on us. The idea that we can choose to be happy all the time suggests that we should have control over every aspect of our emotional life. But the reality is far more complex. Emotions are not something we can always control or force into a box. Sometimes sadness, anger, or disappointment will visit us, and it's not a sign of weakness or failure. These emotions are just as important as happiness because they reflect our authentic experience of life. The key to living a fulfilling life lies not in avoiding negative emotions or seeking constant happiness, but in accepting life as it comes, embracing the full spectrum of emotions, and learning from each experience. This acceptance doesn't mean giving up on happiness, but rather recognizing that happiness is not a permanent state. It's something we experience in fleeting moments. And it's these moments that we should cherish rather than chase relentlessly. As we begin to understand that happiness is not a permanent state, we're faced with a powerful realization. The true goal of life is not to remain happy at all times, but to experience and embrace the entirety of our journey. This shift in perspective is crucial. as it allows us to move away from the myth that happiness is something we must always be striving for. Instead, we can begin to focus on what it means to live a fulfilling life, a life that is rich with purpose, meaning, and personal growth. Fulfillment, in this sense, doesn't come from external accomplishments or the endless pursuit of pleasure. It comes from finding meaning in the day-to-day experiences, the moments that teach us something about ourselves, the people we love, and the world around us. The fulfillment that truly nourishes the soul doesn't rely on perfect conditions or an absence of struggle. Instead, it thrives in the spaces between joy and pain, success and failure. This doesn't mean we should ignore our emotions or deny ourselves the right to feel disappointment, sadness, or frustration. On the contrary, embracing our full emotional spectrum is what leads to true fulfillment. Every emotional experience, whether positive or negative, adds layers to our understanding of who we are and what we value. The challenges we face and the pain we endure shape us into individuals who can appreciate the moments of happiness that do come our way. True fulfillment comes from the ability to be present, to appreciate the quiet moments of peace, to find purpose in the tasks we undertake, and to be connected with those around us. It's about cultivating a sense of gratitude for the life we have, not because it's perfect, but because it's real. We begin to see that life's true richness lies not in avoiding discomfort or sadness, but in embracing them and using them as opportunities for personal growth. By doing so, we move away from the myth of constant happiness and instead focus on creating a life that feels meaningful, regardless of the ups and downs. So, how can we begin to break free from the idea that we must always be happy? It starts with accepting the reality that our emotions are fluid and that happiness is not a permanent state to be clung to. We can begin to redefine what it means to live a fulfilling life by shifting our focus from external achievements to internal growth. When we stop chasing after happiness, we create space to experience life as it truly is, with all its complexities, contradictions, and beauty. The pursuit of happiness, when understood as an unrelenting chase, only leads to dissatisfaction and exhaustion. But when we accept that happiness is just one piece of the emotional puzzle, we can begin to create a life that feels complete. Fulfillment comes from within, through the acceptance of both light and dark, and the understanding that every emotion we experience has something valuable to teach us. It is in this acceptance that we find the true richness of life. In the end, life isn't about a single emotion, not about chasing after happiness or running from discomfort. It's about accepting and embracing the full spectrum of experiences, knowing that each one has value. The key to a meaningful and fulfilling life is not to strive for constant happiness, but to find the richness in all of our experiences, even those that challenge or hurt us. This realization begins to shift our mindset. We no longer need to measure our lives by the fleeting moments of joy that come with success, achievement, or pleasure. Instead, we start to value the depth of our relationships, the lessons we learn through adversity, and the quiet moments of peace that often go unnoticed. Life is not a straight line toward a goal, but a winding journey filled with lessons, unexpected twists, and opportunities for growth. It is the messiness, the imperfections, and the contradictions that make life beautiful and meaningful. The pursuit of meaning over happiness allows us to let go of the pressure to constantly be happy and instead focus on living authentically. It gives us the freedom to feel sadness without guilt, frustration without shame, and joy without the pressure of making it last forever. We begin to understand that happiness doesn't need to be the goal. It is simply one of the many emotions that we experience along the way. One of the greatest challenges of modern life is the constant pressure to appear happy. Social media and cultural expectations place enormous value on the image of a perfect life, one where everything is in order, emotions are controlled, and success is a given. However, this idealized version of life is not only unattainable, but it's also unhealthy. The constant pursuit of this external perfection often prevents us from acknowledging our struggles, our flaws, and our moments of vulnerability. By learning to embrace our imperfections and our full emotional experience, we reclaim our authenticity and free ourselves from the fear of not measuring up. Living authentically means acknowledging all the parts of ourselves, both the light and the dark, and understanding that these parts are equally valuable. It's the messy moments of self-doubt, the late-night conversations with friends, the quiet moments of reflection, and the bursts of joy that make life worth living. They all contribute to our growth, understanding, and connection with the world around us. In accepting both the highs and lows, we create a more balanced, more grounded sense of self. So, rather than fixating on the idea that life should be a continuous upward trajectory of happiness, we can embrace the fact that life is about living fully, embracing all that comes with it. The richness of life isn't found in the pursuit of an elusive, perfect happiness, but in the ability to engage with life in all its complexity. Happiness may come and go, but the moments of growth, understanding, and connection that we experience along the way will stay with us, enriching our lives in ways that fleeting happiness never could.